Hi there. Huh. Has anyone ever died of diabetes? Huh. I think we'll discuss that today. Could be interesting, you know? We'll be right back. Good morning, diabetes world. It's Mike here, and we're out for, I guess, the last of the next mornings because we're supposed to be rain for a while. But we'll see. So, has anyone ever really died of diabetes? You know, there's so much speculation out there. Oh, and sorry, my eye. A whole bunch of people have claimed that, oh well, we died of diabetes. But in fact, a very handful, if that, can be fit into people dying from the actual diabetes. And that's pretty much, from what I understand, is because of diabetes being an imbalance. Sorry, Nico's just off doing his thing in the forest. And as such, you don't really die from diabetes. However, there's so many things that diabetes is tied into. These can be the result of high blood sugars. So, you can die from nerve problems. You can die from heart attacks. You can die from... what else can you die from? Infections. And, you know, it's quite easily to see why taking care of your blood sugars is so important. People lose limbs, toes, and all because of diabetes. Because there is a sugar imbalance in your system. I've suffered from a very serious infection in my time. So infections, those can pop up at any time. Now, thank goodness for, sorry, that's his leash hitting back and forth. There, I'll put it up there. There, I won't be bagging so much. There we go. Stronger antibiotics that helps a body fight these infections. Now, sorry, you're coming loose. These infections can be quite nasty, but so often people with diabetes keep putting things off. Oh, yes, it's a little red. Oh, it's a little warm. And the next thing you know, they have a full-blown infection. Now, I know I titled this To Die, that no one really dies of diabetes. However, you know, I hate to see people, you know, losing a limb. But Morty, but death could also happen. Infections can spread quick. And why is that, you might ask? Well, they change, or it grows, it keeps up, because your body has sugar in it, and that's what drives these infections, is sugar. So, that can be a cause. You know, especially if infections get into your lungs or other areas. But I think there's one surefire cure of these is A, good hygiene, B, good sugar control. Oh, well, I always get infections, and I live. Yes, but how long are you think you're going to be able to play that game? Keeping your blood sugars under control is your best defense. Now, one of the complications is diabetic neuropathy. And most of us know it from leg pain, feet pain. Well, that's something I live with. That's why I'm in a chair. Because walking becomes too painful, and for a fact, when I was in the hospital last time, you know, it was, well, why are you in a chair? No, you really should get up and walk around. Walk a bit each day. And it's like, I do. You know, it's not like, oh, well, yes, oh, just driving around is so much easier. I have neuropathy. Now, that could go and continue into your stomach, all your nerve controls, and neuropathy can also stop you from breathing. And last time I checked, that was a biggie. But new diabetics, if you're a new diabetic watching this, get into the habit of having good control of your blood sugars. Now, I know when I did the whole session on blood sugars, just one sec, I mentioned that new diabetic is not, you know, all the warnings, and you heed all the warnings, and it's kind of hard to believe that you can do so much if all you hear is, oh, you're going to lose a leg. Oh, if you don't do your blood sugars, why aren't we out there saying more like, oh, you had an excellent day? I'm hoping that scare tactics have kind of stopped now when the new diabetic is being diagnosed. Now, obviously, we all know that a person can pass away from a problem with the heart. So, do a lot of people listen? They don't. And all I keep hearing is, oh, you're fat. Oh, you gotta lose weight. Well, yes, I know that. Well, you should go running. With a neuropathy, I can't go running. I walk in the apartment, but I can't go out for long walks. And the reason for this is with my neuropathy, my legs give out. Well, if you just try a little, It's like everyone has the answers for you. And I don't. I've tried. I've gone walking. I've used a cane. I've used a walker. Oh, but you've got to get up and you've got to walk. And then, all that weight will just come right off. Well, I guess brittle diabetes is also a chance that you could pass away. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. And I think I'm doing what I said I don't want to do. And that is scare young diabetics. What I think we need to do is really go away and stop talking about what could happen. I think we've got to praise. Oh, you're doing great. And even if it's just what's that? Sorry, I had to go find Nico. He kind of got loose, but the one thing I really like is if he gets loose, he kind of just stays. And I don't know, I was probably less than a block away. But keeping your blood sugars at a normal rate, that's got to be the best thing you can do. Now, how do you do this? Well, so often people... Oh, well, I've learned that already. You can't teach me anything else. And I've got to admit, I used to think of that, too. Oh, well, my blood sugars are out of whack. That's the only way. People constantly have a feeling, oh, I don't want to do that again. It was boring. But sometimes you need a refresher. Things change. Now, if they didn't change, we would still have problems with doing urine tests, which I can't believe we did urine tests for all those years, counting carbs, or we'd end up having to eat the exact same thing all the time. And there's new stuff coming along. Now, everyone out there tries to come out with new and exciting diets, but it's easy. We've talked about counting carbs before. Don't play. Another thing you can do is don't play around with your insulin. Now, I can remember when I got my first insulin pump. I think it was Nordisk or something out of, don't quote me exactly, out of Denmark. Couldn't think where Danish people came from. Sorry. But, and, it was compared to today's pumps, it was a very simplistic pump. And here I hear clink, 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 clink. So let's get this out. And we'll see how that works now, huh? Hopefully we won't hear clink, clink, clink so much. Now, giving people... Sorry, I lost... Oh. There was a lady who was there learning how to do it as well. Good morning. And, she said, well, when my blood sugars go too high for me eating whatever I want, I just inject it into my arm, or right into a vein. And I kept thinking, ow. I'm glad it's only subcutaneous. That's the one plus. But I don't know, right across, if I would want to inject it right into a vein. And thank God we don't have to. Now I know, and I give anyone who's on IV drugs for anything, hemophilia or whichever, I still wouldn't do that. And that's what I mean by playing around with your insulin. It's hard to say how much insulin to have. So, getting control of your diabetes can a lot of times do it if you follow your doctor's lead. Now, before you go out and try all these weird and wonderful things, bring it up with your doctor. I know I do. And it may be the most the most stupid idea out there. But I do pass it by them. Because I know I want to live a long life. And, oh, it's my family. Oh, well, you're just so big. Do you know how big you are? And yes, I know how big I am. And it's not, well, you should go out, you should take up running. And it's like, I stood up. I worked hard for many years. But, oh, well, you have to do that again. You've got to lose all that weight. I know I've got to lose all that weight. And, it's not that I want to be this size. It's because I drop low blood sugars and I keep eating and taking glucagon or giving myself shots of glucose, and it keeps just getting added on. Well, you're just gonna die early. And it's like, that's all I've heard. So, try to do the best that you can. Having your blood sugars on a high keel is not a good practice, because your nerves start getting in trouble. So I'm a great proponent for any new diabetic to say, keep your blood sugars on an even keel. Now, it is so easy as a youngster, a teenager, you could play around with the diabetes all you want, and it's just so easy that, things just go right back into shape really quickly. Well, little things now that I notice, if I have a low blood sugar, and I'm talking a severe low blood sugar, it takes forever for it to get up and feel better. And so often, even adults, I guess there's some negative attention that come with it, and some people just constantly like to keep playing with it. But it can easily get into a problem, and you need to ensure that things don't get into a problem. Because if it does, you could die of that problem. So basically, what can you do to live a better life with diabetes? Count your carbs. If you notice, I don't say, well, eat only what you're allowed to eat. Because type 1s, we can pretty well eat whatever we want. However, you've got to make sure you take proper insulin. Just eating, without taking the correct amount of insulin will just cause a high blood sugar. And I shouldn't just say will cause, it will. So, take the right medication, drink, sleep. All this is going to help you. So, I was going to name this video Do people die from diabetes? And the answer is no. people die from complications of diabetes. Talk to you later. Have a great day.